guys, this is Megan with You Go To Be Kidding. Today we are doing an update on all the things. We'll be talking goats and chickens and gardens and all the things going on the farm. Just kind of a quick check-in to see what we're up to. We don't have anything big going on, but there's always small things going on. Definitely an update in the garden and to see what all it's been producing. But otherwise, just come along for the journey and see everything we have going. So one accidental garden thing I have going on here is my friend gave me a boysenberry plant and I stuck it here in this bucket because I was looking for a place to plant it, and then it died back, and then apparently the roots weren't actually dead, and it has now rooted itself into the ground and spread. We actually got fruit off of one cane that has now since died this year, which is fantastic, and we have all these canes. So I'm attempting to let it grow through the lattice here. I'm trying to trim off any extra things, and it's even growing around here. And the idea is to let it grow here, and then it should bear fruit on these branches, and then I'll have to cut them out. So this might be way more work than it's worth, but it's here. It's here. So this is kind of how we manage things. And it's something kind of fun. It's working with what we have and just learning new things. And if it's a total failure, hey, I'm sure we will get some fruit off of it, which will be really fun. The cutest update on the farm is our kittens. This one is Storm, the all gray one. Star is the stripy one here. And Buster is the lone boy. He's back there. They are so cute. They are so much fun. They're probably, I think they're either 10 or 11 weeks old now. But we have so enjoyed them. They are so much fun. We're having a really hard time deciding who gets to stay and who needs to go. I have to say, I think the baby kittens have been like the most fun animal we've had on the farm because they require so little of us and they're so much fun. Look at you guys. Oh, they're so fun. Our fig jungle is doing really well. We're seeing lots of figs on here. So you can see all these in here. Now last year we couldn't get any to ripen. And I don't know if it was because of a weird late frost or what, but there are definitely more in here. And then we even have more figs right there along the side of the building. Both of those are figs, and we're seeing fruit on them too. So we're really hoping that we're gonna get some ripe ones this year. I'm so excited. They have fruit on them all over. Well, if nothing else, the main garden is growing flowers extremely well. This is really exciting. Weeds are definitely my nemesis this year, but I'm seeing some really tall bell peppers. This is a plant here. I'm curious if there's any fruit on it. And that's kind of been the story this year. I'm not getting a lot of peppers so far. There are plants all in here. Pepper, some Swiss chard, which is shockingly doing really well. And some things down in the line, but the zinnias are beautiful and I'm enjoying them even if the peppers aren't coming. Ooh, look what I found. Peppers, and I see some down here. Oh, there they are. Bell peppers. All right, I'm excited about this because we've only gotten a handful so far, and so I'm really excited to see these bell peppers. Obviously, weeds are a major issue, but the sweet potatoes are starting to do well. I'm not sure if I will be able to get them to go up the trellis at all. They don't grab onto things like a cucumber does, but I might have to start trying to weave them through here. They're doing all right. My tomatoes are looking good. I do have some here, so I'm pretty sure that this is blight. Looks like it took out at least 3 here. I have a whole bunch of ripe tomatoes that I need to get off of this yellow champagne bubble tomato. And I've got some other big ones. We've harvested a ton. These are orange Kellogg breakfast tomatoes, and I'm so excited to see new ones coming up. So we kind of have a lull. It feels like we harvested a bunch and now we're really waiting for more to ripen. We have a lot of these, I think they were currant. Oop, I dropped one. I don't remember what they're called. They're fun, but they're really obnoxious to pick. Nobody wants to help pick 1,000 tomatoes. So I don't think I'll be doing as many next year. More zinnias, which I'm so happy with. They're so pretty, even if they make for a mess or I can't eat them or whatever. I think they are technically edible. But then I've got a few more tomatoes here. I've got some open space. I think I'm actually going to come and try green beans in here again. But I've got some tomatoes. And then this is supposed to be a potato patch. Oh, but there are ground cherries in here. I see volunteer tomatoes in here. And I don't know that I see any potato greenery in here anymore. So I might come actually weed whack this and then try to harvest potatoes. I had tried to pull some weeds from this side. I had attempted to tarp over some things that clearly worked well. Here's actually a ground cherry. Oh, there's a little sign of potato. This right here. Potato, this is weeds. But I'm gonna have to come in here. I'll bet some of these actually grew all right. But obviously this section was just a hot mess. But the tomatoes are there. I do have all these carrot seeds. So these have progressed over the year. These look nice and dried out. See if I can get it to focus on a head here. There we go. So all of these in here are carrot seeds. There we go. So I will be looking for a place to spread these probably in a few weeks. And see if I can get some carrots. And hey, the ones I drop here should come up as well. I do have carrots all over the garden, volunteer carrots. It's just been hard to find a time to harvest them. So my garden isn't quite what I expected it to be, but I am still getting some good produce out of it. And I feel like that's part of the learning each year, is just embracing the things that fail and moving on, either pivoting or just going without. The tomatoes are doing great, most of them at least. And other things I've gotten behind on. And I think the point is that I can just keep going. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to have everything picture perfect and completely weed free. It is still growing food. It wants to grow with at least a little bit of management. And so it's exciting. I am less overwhelmed by the garden this year because I'm just refusing to get stressed out about it. If there are weeds growing, who cares? I can deal with them as long as the food is growing too. Now, obviously that potato section got out of hand. That probably really competed with the potatoes themselves. And okay, so lesson learned. If I'm gonna weed something, I need to make sure I get to the potatoes. And otherwise, I actually ran a weed eater through here on the main aisles because the grass was so tall. And hey, whatever works, works. All right, here's our goat crew. They got moved up here right in front of the barn, which makes our morning chores super easy for a few days while they're here. This is a spot we hadn't mowed in a while, and we finally have been getting some amazing rain. And so, yeah, we've got stuff growing. Everybody is doing really well. It is hot today, so they are just hanging out under the shelter. But everybody is doing so well. The minerals have made a huge difference. You probably can't see well because of the lighting. Tansy's coat, but man, they are all slick and shiny. The only one that is not doing well is Cedar. She is up under that shelter over there, the smaller shelter. I don't know what is up with her, but she is just not thriving. And that's such a bummer because she is an awesome goat. She's so sweet. She has been an excellent mom. She has produced a pretty decent amount of milk. And she just doesn't seem to thrive with our herbal wormers and the things we do here, and that's okay. So I think what I'm going to be looking for, and her son, Little John, he's out back. I might go get a shot of the boys too. They both are really struggling. Cedar's daughter last year, her name was Spoink. She also did not do well, and so I'm just seeing a general unthriftiness from her line. And so unfortunately, I think that means that we're going to be looking to probably move them on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some chemical wormers to try to get them healthy. I don't want to pass on an unhealthy goat, but I want to pass her on to a farm that uses different management practices. She is a wonderful goat. and I really think she could thrive somewhere else. I would love to see her thriving. So I'm gonna try to, she's already dried off anyway because she has been struggling so much. So I'm gonna use some wormers that I don't normally use here on my farm, try to get her all taken care of, and then she will be probably moving on to a new farm at some point. Maybe this fall when she gets, if she is healthy enough to breed, I'll breed her and then move her on. Another update for these guys is that we have been using teat tape to keep these stinky babies from nursing off their mamas, and it has been working. I'm so excited. It's a little bit tedious to have to, you know, obviously take the tape off every morning and then tape them up again. Hello, Clover. Hello, girl. Yeah, look at you. But anyway, these mamas are giving me a bunch of milk, and the teat tape is doing a great job. Looks like I need to move where these shelters are sitting. But these guys are doing so well. You're funny. You're funny. Ooh, let's see if she can show you. Oh, you're all dirty from laying down. But she has a little bit of tape on her teats, and it keeps these babies from nursing. Our next enterprise to check in on is our meat chickens. These guys are set for processing not this weekend, but the next one. So not quite 2 full weeks, but just about 2 weeks more. They are looking good. They're getting nice and big. This year, the birds have done really, really well for us. The last batch was an average of almost a 7-pound bird. And these guys are looking maybe not quite that big, which is probably a good thing because I'm having a hard time fitting them in my Instant Pot, even the 8-quart one I got for them. But these guys are doing really well. These tractors really have served us very well. They're very simple. Just put the lid on here. And this 5-gallon bucket feeds their waterer. Hangs from the middle. We have a second tractor here as well. And they get moved each day. You can see the path behind them. And you can see how green this section is. We have been getting a ton of rain by all means. But this section here, from our white fence here, about maybe a little bit further, another couple rows, is definitely greener than the whole front section. It's hard to tell on camera, I'm sure, but it is a pretty remarkable difference here. And this grass is so tall. I've got a basket sitting over there, and this stuff is so tall. It is just awesome. We needed the rain desperately, and we got it. And the chickens have added a lot of fertility to this ground. It's just really, really cool to see. We got our next round of birds. We ordered 80 chicks, and these are the only ones that are up and moving. There's just a couple, and some other ones we're gonna have to take care of. We tried to save some other ones. Oh, this is all we got. This is really heartbreaking, but McMurray Hatchery is great at replacing them, but it's only been an hour or two, so I can't get my final count. They replace anything that dies in the first 24 hours. But I think this is all we have left. Hello, ladies. So these guys have got to be big enough now, but we had, these are a new batch of layers. We got them in the spring when we got our first batch of meat birds. So I don't know how, 8 weeks plus probably 5 more. They're probably 13 or 14 weeks old now. Anyway, they could fit through the top sections of our Premier One chicken net. So they couldn't go out with the other chickens because they could just kind of jump over. The bottom couple rows are small and block them, but just up a couple levels, I'll show you on the fence in just a second, they could get through. But they're looking pretty big now. We've actually tried another time recently and they could still get out. I don't know if they were hopping the fence. We have clipped their wings, but maybe we need to do that again. Anyway, these ladies are hanging out in our John Siskowicz tractor. We're moving them around and they're helping to fertilize other parts of our pasture. It's just obnoxious to have an extra group of animals. The chickens are fun. They're gonna come out to say hi to me. They were all up under our chickshaw. It is hot, but it provides shade for them, which is awesome. So they were out there. They're coming to see if I'm bringing them snacks, which I'm not, but it's really fun that they come out actually. This is our laying hen crew, our posse. They have done great for us. So this is the chicken net. The bottom ones, if you can see way down at the bottom, let me move maybe the door. The really low ones are really small and the birds couldn't fit through them. But these upper ones, which are small, our teenage hens could fit through. So we had to not put them in there. but that's all right. We'll get them back in there when we can. But these guys have been moving around and helping fertilize our pastures, and it has just been so nice not having the smelly chicken coop. It does make it a little bit harder for like garden scraps and even household scraps. It's just not quite as effective as dumping it in a stationary place, but I think maybe we'll just have to start up some sort of compost pile, maybe something with some pallets. That's another project for another time. Just things that you have to think about. Every time something changes, it often causes, you know, some cascading changes behind it as well. So we like having them moving for sure, but it definitely has changed a few other logistics. But these guys are a lot of fun. So these are our boys. Oak and Foxy are back there in the trees, and little John is here. Hey buddy, what are you doing? So this is Cedar's son, and I was talking about he seems to be really struggling as well. I don't think that brown should be there. I think that should be nice deep black. And we have given the babies and the boys a chance to get minerals, and the babies haven't quite figured it out. So we just need to keep doing that. But again, with him, we are probably going to be looking to move him on to a farm that uses a different type of management so that he can thrive. Hey, buddy, I was really excited about you, but you are not doing so great. But yeah, so this is what the boys have. This is our pond area. It is super useful. They are helping clear out the foliage, and then my boys come in and actually like cut down some of these saplings to get them out of the way. So by the time they're done here, we should actually be able to get a mower in here pretty far and help clear this area out. But for the time being, it is perfect for the goats. So that's a quick overview on all the things we've got going on. It's just a little bit here and there. Choices about kittens, choices about goats, meat birds getting ready to be processed, and just, you know, keeping up with our garden. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or any tips or tricks, I'd always love to hear, and we appreciate you watching. See you next week.